What's up, y'all? Hey, so I just came over here to play with Lana because I was over here yesterday and she's not here, but I know where her Ninja Key's at. So I remember she wanted some bananas prepped, so I'm gonna prep some bananas for her. I think she's probably getting water. But anyways, y'all, thank you so much for the support today. Watching my video, they're always a lot of fun. All these videos are always fun because I get to be my ridiculously authentic self, and it's very therapeutic, and I love to play. So I don't know when she's gonna be back, y'all. I'm just gonna prep some bananas, and she's got a bunch of kombucha, so I'm gonna go through it. Y'all, she has the best kombucha. It's kombucha. So I'm gonna open one of them, and she look. Can you guys see? Look at her fridge, y'all. She always has so much food. Look at this, y'all. And the thing that she does, I mean, this thing is packed. And this door weighs like a trillion squared pounds. Look at this. She's got all this stuff. And I don't know how she does it. She's really good with like keeping like the older stuff up front. And it's like magic in here. But I don't know. This might be the pineapple one she made though. Check this out. Hi, Linda. Hi, Orlando. So I don't know how to open these all that well, but I'm gonna do it. She won't get mad either. She won't get mad. Because you're supposed to do this right. Let's just do it. I'm gonna make a mess, and she doesn't like when ants come around. Oh, talk about over dramatic. Check this out. Y'all, her kombucha, I'm telling you, I'd pay like $10 a bottle for this. Even I'd pay like 12. Look at the colors of this. Look at it. And she always has so many different flavors. Hi, Carl. Hi, Sherry. It's so good. Let me see. I need a cutting board though, y'all, because I want to surprise her. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get some of this, these bananas prepped. And then when she drives up, she could kind of see me, y'all, because in her house, she pulls up and she gets and I have that self-love, and so I ninja flipped out of bed, and when I get a lot of sleep, my hair gets all fun. And so she could probably see it really quick. So as soon as she gets here, I'm going to duck out and I'm going to keep it here with y'all, okay? And she's probably... Forgive her if she doesn't know she's online, because she might curse. I don't know what she might do. She might slip on a banana peel. I don't know, but I'm going to keep it running, okay? This is all about playing. Y'all remember when you were kids and you'd knock on someone's door? And like for me, I had two neighbors, and I wouldn't even ask like their names because they're like a brother, sister. And I typically only wanted to play, I'll tell their names, is Lisa and Scott. And I typically only wanted to play, when I was younger, I always wanted to play with Lisa and Scott. And all the way till I was like 13, because I only started playing with Scott because he was like 2 years younger than me, and he's a dude. And so I would always play with him. And then when I was 13, I remember knocking on the door, and I was like, is Lisa and Scott here? Or I'd like to play. And then I realized, like, I haven't played with Lisa, like, in 2 years. So it's just funny, like, but that's the thing. When you're a kid, you knock on someone's door and you ask if they can come out and play, right? So try that. Knock on someone's door and say, can you come outside and play, right? And that's what I do when I come over to Miss Lana's. And I saw her put the Ninja Key away, so I know here's secret spot. And so, but look, I don't want to get in trouble. If she comes in here, I have no idea. She might be on the phone. She might be having a personal conversation, y'all. So, I mean, I'll just tell her to delete this video if she says something inappropriate, but we'll see what happens, okay? So, here's a bunch of bananas. Y'all know how much I love bananas. Check these out. We got this rad little cutting board. She runs a really tight ship around here, y'all. I mean, like, she knows everything. If I move anything, she knows what's up. So, check out these bananas. These could still go like probably another 3 days, but I like it like this. And then we've got these ones, and then we have these ones Check these out. Right? I call these, I was calling them blue bananas, but they're called apple bananas. And they're not ready until they pop. And when they pop, y'all, you know, they're delicious. So, happy Veterans Day, y'all, all around the world. You know, I truly, truly, truly want world peace, just like we always have. And I think in the history of humans, I don't think there's ever been really world peace. But, you know, at least we could try, y'all. You know, and I served for 4 years, and there's probably some things that I did that probably didn't lead to world peace, but that was my only option. But, you know, make somebody's, you know, world, so make someone's world a little bit brighter today, y'all. We all have cute smiles, right? See, we all have cute smiles. So use that smile to change the world. Don't let the world change your smile, okay? And it's Veterans Day. You know, we all live in different countries all around the world. I don't know where her ninja knives are. And, you know, just whoever's a veteran all around the world, y'all, just give them a pat on the back, give them a hug, say attaboy, say you're a rockin' rad star, and make them feel good. Because I know, you know, when I served, wrong ninja knife. When I served, I literally did not get paid hardly anything. Maybe a little bit was that my fault, but I really think anybody that serves their country, you know, and hopefully that definition changes soon, where it's not all about war. I honestly think that more women, or women, should have more say in what it is that we do, because I think women in general, this is generalization, have more reason. You know what I mean? They have more reason than typical men, and that I could be wrong, but you know, why are we all fighting? You know, the oil thing is over, y'all. In my opinion, the oil thing, we don't need oil anymore. I mean, maybe we do for a few things, but not like we used to. It's all about solar power. And a lot of it, you know, now it's all about the minerals for these phones. You know, that's where a lot of war is at. You know, a lot of places around the world, women can't even drive. Isn't that crazy? And I love the open conversation that's happening right now in the U.S. and, you know, hopefully it spreads. Is that you know, women rights, you know, physical abuse, mental abuse towards women, equal pay. I love that, y'all. And because I've seen that, you know, I've seen that that's a huge issue. And equality for all, equality for trolls, right? Equality for all colors. You know, it's just pigmentation. I've never ever been racist, ever, because I grew up with all Hispanics, and I've just never been racist at all. But and even animals now, like I'm really learning, you know, like pigs are super smart, y'all. Elephants are super smart, you know. Even plants, from what I've read, seriously, some plants have like some consciousness, and I think that's like really rad. And so, you know, veterans, you know, really do sacrifice. And hopefully, like I said, hopefully what it means to serve your country is meaning serving your neighborhood, serving your community, you know, helping, you know, a disadvantaged person cross the street or carry their groceries, or, you know, fight against crime, you know, or go to, you know, Los Angeles or anywhere of these, especially in America, anywhere of these cities where, you know, there's a lot of hunger, a lot of poor, you know, a lot of homeless. That's what I think we need to do. That's what I think we need to do. That's what we need to serve. And y'all, I've never really got along with, you know, police officers and cops, just because I've been on the other end. That's why I always play with handcuffs, just as a reminder that I don't want to go on them anymore. But police officers do have a tough job. And so I think Veterans Day should be just like a community day, people that are really serving their communities in service. And, you know, you've got, and I don't pay attention much to mainstream, lamestream news anymore, but I know there's the whole Russia thing and the Trump thing and the China thing and the North Korea thing. You know, I think with technology, I really do. I think with technology, you know, we all have these rad little computers in our pockets, and I think more people are accountable, just like with these people that have been accused of all these sexual harassments, and women around the world are speaking up. You know, more people have a voice. More people can be heard, you know what I mean? And that's very, very powerful. That's why I think it's rad with food, you know what I mean? Food is huge, and if we could speak up and try to get higher quality foods, like, you know, specifically like Walmart, right? Now they're trying to carry, you know, more organic foods at a cheaper price. You know, then you have Amazon, who purchased Whole Foods, and, you know, their bananas went down. And so, you know, everybody's voice can be heard. You know, and you will get from, you know, in my opinion, in my experience, you will get some Cheeto fingers or some keyboard warriors, social justice warriors that maybe might not have, you know, the community as a whole, the world as a whole's best interest, and maybe they might just be bored or might be having some pain, and but they can be heard too. So everybody has a voice now, and I think if we all just be kind, because my kind of people are kind people, and I like my people just like I like my produce, organic. So today's just a reminder of treat your fellow human, veteran, whatever it is, neighbor, you know, just in a really kind way. Hi, Don. What's up, Nikki? Nikki, I love that love spin boom you did. I thought that was so rad. That should have had like 1 trillion squared likes, because that was super cool. When I see your technique there, I saw how you slid, twirled in there, and then you did the reverse love spin boom. See, a lot of people don't know how to do a love spin boom. They think they can, but I saw you've got the technique. It's tippy toe, it's toe, heel, toe. Boom! But you came in, I saw you came in with like, in a mid twirl. You came in a mid twirl because you had those ninja socks on or slippers. You came in like that. You went like this with that. You went like that, and then boom, and then you did the love spin boom, and then you threw that yummy heart. That shit had 1 trillion likes. But I appreciate that. That put a smile on my face all day. Hi, Diana. Diana, rad bounty you had today. So if y'all just got here, I came over to play at Miss Lana's house. And she's not here, but yesterday I came over and I saw where she put her ninja key. And so I know she needs these bananas. And so I don't know where she's at. Her water jug's not here, so she's probably getting water. But I can see when she comes. And remember, I might get in trouble with this. You might get upset because, you know, if she comes in and is on the phone or comes in here and curses, or you're gonna, but it's really, I'm playing, but I always like to push the limits. And Miss Lana is so rad, she's so beautiful and so authentic that I don't think she'll care. You know, she's pretty much well behaved anyway. But when she does come, I'm ninja flipping out of here and I'm gonna leave the camera going. So who knows what you saw. I'm not going to be able to clean up right away, so I don't know. Yeah, so Diana, y'all, everybody follow Diana. Friend, follow, and support her. She goes live on her Facebook page and in the group, and you can go live on mine today. How rad would that be? You message me and I'll give you my login, and you could sign in mine, and you'll have a little bit more of an audience, a little bit more bananas. I call them golden bananas because I love your story. I love your bounty today. I love the effort that you put into this. A lot of people. I just made a cool video. It's called an asshole. An asshole is somebody that asks for advice. Like they come to you and ask for advice, and then they do the complete opposite. So it's like, gosh, you're such an asshole. But you're not an asshole. And I can see, Diana, the work, the dedication, the healthy boundaries, you know, you were all in, and I appreciate that. And so I am here for anything that you might need. And I think a Facebook Live takeover, you can do it. And you know, all you gotta do is just keep doing what you're doing. You know, tell your story. And a lot of people are over on my page, personal page, that might not have seen it. So, you know, the only thing I ask y'all is just push play and have fun and be yourself. And you're really sticking with it. A lot of people, you know, want to play, and you know, I get it, and they play, and then they don't play after like 2 weeks. And I get it because we all have like normal lives. We're not normal lives. Everybody's got a little bit different going on. But I know you're married and you have your beautiful daughter. But you know, you're all in, and you're all in to cure yourself. And I believe you've cured yourself already of many, many things. And so that is what that's amazing to me. You inspire me. And so let me know if you want to play on my account. We'll make it happen. You must do it. Just do it. This is so fun. And I'm telling, like, look at this kombucha. I want to show you like all of her toys. Like, because she goes live a lot in here, but she literally, like, you can't see everything. She is like a sensei. She's like Mr. Miyagi, right? Like, since I've been visiting her, you know, I feel like I've been, like, she's been, like, just like training me, right? For, like, you know, to help me, you know, not change the world, but maybe heal the world. You got to heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. So she gives me all these, like, little ninja secrets, and I feel like she's always constantly telling me, like, wax on, wax off, wax on. I'm like, I don't get it. But then, like, a couple days, like, I'll do something, I'm like, oh. Or she's like, paint the fence, up, down, up, down, up, down. Paint the fence, up, down. Johnny, Bobby, get him. And so she's teaching me a lot, and you really can't see everything in here, but she has been on this path for a very, very long time. And that's what's rad about the group, is that you can play with other people that might be further in the journey. And one thing I've learned, you know, if you want to play with somebody and you're trying to achieve no matter what it is, I wouldn't take advice from somebody that hasn't already been through it or is there already. You know what I mean? So, like, she's already, you know, levels. Her Kundalini yoga, you all, it's like magic. Y'all even know, like, she really, really, really serves and, like, and is so open. And that's why I said, hey, I'm gonna come visit her and play with her. And I want to play with a lot of people because I've learned from a lot of people. But she is like sensei. Like, you know, I want to piss glitter and smell like peaches. You know, I mean, these are the type of individuals that will get me there. And so I have so much to learn. And like look, like, I'll show you some toys. For like, look at all this kombucha that's not even in her fridge. Look at this. Like she's got like all this, like look. And it is, I would pay $12 for this easily. Like, airports, y'all listen up. Circle K's, Piggly Wigglies, Albertsons, Fry's. Y'all need to, like, you know, really, really hone in on your kombucha. And, you know, when you first do it, and I thought my gut was already clean. It's not. It's a whole nother level when you have the coconut almond yogurt with the probiotics and a lot of kombucha. Like, I feel like, you know, I've read a lot and I've seen some people who are like I don't know what it's called, like a plaque, like a long plaque will come out of your booty hole. I really feel like I want to do a coffee enema, a couple of them, because, you know, I have like crazy babufas when I eat even cleaner and cleaner and cleaner, and I think it's just cleaning me out and cleaning me out and cleaning me out. And so I wish there was 1,000 Lanas, y'all. She really is in it to win it, just like Diana. Or Diane. Is it Diane or Diana? Hi, Patricia. Look. She's got a little bracelet. That's pretty, wow, it's kind of small. This is actually like a nice bracelet. This thing's got some weight to it. My daughter Jordan makes a lot of really cool jewelry. In fact, y'all want to hear something rad? Like, I gotta kind of, because if she comes, I want to duck, and then I got a ninja flip. But because, you know, I moved, and my daughter Jordan's and staying with my first wife, and I challenged her because now she has a phone. She has like a phone, right? And she has the iPhone. So now we can FaceTime and she can text. So I challenged her to a 30-day challenge. I said, Jordan, if you contact me every single day, I will have a huge surprise for you. And she just started volleyball last week. She's the second tallest person in her grade. Like, I think she's like 5'7". You know, she was like 120 pounds, and she's like all legs. She's like built for volleyball, and she's really enjoying it. But I said, hey, just because, you know, I'm playing in Florida and on my way to Kauai doesn't mean that you cannot contact me every single day. So I said, I challenge you every single day to either call me or text me, and I'll give you a big surprise. And I even got her friend Caitlin on the phone. I said, you remind her. So she lasted 4 days, and then she forgot like 3 days ago. But she was really, really into this guy, Logan Paul, who's this YouTuber, and he's got this really cool merch. They're called Mavericks or whatever. So we started back at day one yesterday. But she makes really cool jewelry. And, you know, I miss her a lot. like a lot like, because I have been traveling for 6 years. You know, South Carolina is when she was born, right? And then I started the whole, you know, professional head golf pro thing, and I stayed there. And then I moved back to Arizona, and then she moved to Delaware, and then she moved to Alabama. So then I followed her to Alabama, and she moved to North Dakota. Then I moved to North Dakota, and you know, I promised her that I would stay with her till she was 18. And then, you know, the more that we would rap, you know, even when I was there, I could only see her maybe 8 days a month. And, you know, I'm really determined on healing myself to just the highest level possible. And, you know, I made a decision, you know, I'm not working my web design as much. You know, I've closed a lot of contracts, you know, for a lot of high-end clients. So I'm not working as much, but other doors are opening, and because it takes a lot of time and a lot of work to really heal yourself. Like, you can't be stressed out. You can't have all these obligations that maybe you're not in line with, or you just can't, you know, you got to get your sleep, you know, you got to eat right, you know, you got to go run, you got to get the sun, you got to have fresh air. Like, it's like a lifestyle. And so, you know, we were rapping, and we decided that I'm going to be able to love on her at a much higher level for a lot longer if I heal my butt now. And, you know, and I've been doing this for a while too. And so I miss her dearly, but I know, y'all, you know, when I'm in Kauai and then she can come visit, I'm really hoping she can come visit me next summer and I can fly her out. But it is different not having her around. But that's why I did the 30-day challenge with her. Hi, Sharon. So what else can I show you? Like, so let's see. Like, look, what's this? I have no idea. Like, look, she's got like all these, oh, these are, whoa. Oh, whoa. She was already prepping bananas. Look, but see, I chopped them up. See, and she'll get ninja on that. Like, this is how she was prepping bananas, and I chopped them up. So I don't know. So I'm gonna leave this right here. Let me leave this right here. So what are y'all doing today? Are y'all playing? I have a challenge for you, okay? So go over to your friend's house. Don't tell them you're coming, okay? Just like we used to do. Remember, we used to do that, like all the way up to, I don't know, 97, before like the pages and stuff. When you wanted to go play, you would go knock on your friend's door and say, hey, do you want to play? You know, then the beepers came out, and you might know when somebody's gonna late, they might 911 you. But now, if someone just shows up, like, people get upset. They're like, yo, like, what are you doing here? They freak out. They're like, you didn't call me? You didn't text me? Like, what are you doing here? Like, did someone die? But just do that. Go show up at one of your dear friend's house and knock at the door and be like, just be like, when they answer the door, be like, boom! Hey, you want to play? And it will blow their mind, because they'll be oh, y'all, she's here. I love you all. Hey, okay, I gotta get my water. Hold on one sec. Okay, y'all, I love you all. See you soon. I'm actually gonna take this kombucha too. Promise that self-love. What? Oh.
Oh, this is weird. What the hell? Oh, hello. How y'all doing? Hold on a minute. I gotta catch myself here. There's some stuff I didn't expect to walk in on. So, and I've lost my train of thought. Wait a minute here. Okay, take a deep breath. Well, happy Veterans Veterans Day, everyone. I clearly walked in on somebody's been in my kitchen. Huh. That's interesting. It's actually a nice surprise. Have any of you all ever done this before? And chopped. I don't even do that. Wow. I'm impressed. This is a kind of the coolest surprise I've ever gotten. And no, I'm not having a mini heart attack about the part where somebody lost their flip-flops. Anybody see who it was? So I ran out to get water. And this is the last thing I actually expected to see when I walked into my house. So anyway, I ran down the street to get some water because I was out. And that's what you do. You go and you buy water when you need more water, right? So how are you all doing today? Hey, Linda. Hi, Ann. Hey, Stacy. Whew. Hi, Diana and Christine and Shelly. It's so awesome to see you all here. Hi, Luciana. How are you all doing? Hi, Sharon. Ooh. Yeah. Hi, Ella. So, is there anything else I should know about that's going on in the kitchen? Does someone want to fill me in? So, hola. Actually, today's been a really good day. My dad there was a guy who came to see my dad's boat. So I showed him the boat, and he's originally from Greece, which was awesome because that was super sweet. Yeah, actually that was, like I said, this is one of the sweetest surprises I've ever received. So these go in the freezer, prepping the bananas for smoothies. So anyway, this gentleman, his name's Andreas, and his last name's Fortunas, and Fortunas, fortune, hello. And I'm excited because my dad sold his boat today. And that made my day for my dad. And I know it made his day as well because, where attention goes, energy flows. And it's really easy to get caught up in the, I need these things done and blah, blah, blah. The monkey mind. It'll make you crazy if you let it. And so, the irony is whether you recognize that we're all in service, first off. I know this is Remembrance Day, this is Veterans Day. Each and every one of us serves in some capacity. And nobody's service is any higher, lower, better, worse, or more valuable than another's. The question is how your mind works and if you recognize that, right? Yes, it is, Linda. Happiness for others is rad, 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 rad. And so I just want to put this little bug in everyone's ear because it's really easy for us to think somebody's more valuable than we are, or that what we have to bring has to be some grandiose thing, when in reality, we all have a gift. We all have a purpose, and really we're here to interact with one another, to be in love and joy, and to uplift and inspire and support, just like we're here doing, empowering everyone through inspiring, like showing up, you be you. That in itself is serving. You showing up, you sharing this video, you go out and you being you really just being in your authenticity, not trying to be someone you think everybody wants you to be, and not trying to be something you think you should be. Just letting the inner child out, allowing it to play, right? Because we're meant to live in joy, not dis-ease. I don't get upset and as much as I used to. I had my little mini heart attack earlier today, but that was an internal thing, and I recognized it, and it's just, it happens. This is how we grow, and that's where, again, people serve you. And I invited in service for me to grow in my life. I wanted my heart to be broken wide open. I wanted to be, this is my boundary, but then is it really that important of a boundary? Is my obsession with perfectionism and the way things need to be so important? Does that outshine and outweigh? Is that more valuable than being happy? See, another purpose for service is recognizing, are you bringing value that is of pure love and joy? Are you receiving it? Are you open to receiving it? Are you allowing it into your life? It's really easy to turn around and say you want something a certain way, but the question is how you show up for it and if you're open to it. You can talk all you want. It's the integration and the putting into practice that really is the key. And so, yeah, many of us, we served in the armed forces. I was in the Air Force for over 10 years. I was IT, computers. I was not very fond of sitting on my butt a whole lot, so I balanced it while I was in the service, doing exercise, teaching aerobics. I was a runner. That was my meditation, moving meditation. I would be running, and I could just get in that zone that my breath and my footsteps would just be in sync, and then I'd feel my heartbeat, and it just... And I would just get caught up in that and allow my mind to be able to, okay, there would be thoughts, but I could still focus on the breath. And even then I was aware that the breath was so important and getting it into a synchronized rhythm, right? And so service is always happening, and you being served all the time too. It's just the question of whether you recognize that the blessings, the gifts that come into your life, with or without a bow, right? I was in the service and I actually swore in at the same time as Bill Clinton swore in his presidency. I was doing this at the very same time, January 20th, 1993. It was after I graduated high school the year before, and I would have gone in sooner, but things happened. I got pregnant and I had to wait. So as a result, I was in just over 10 years, and I got out on March 23rd of 2003. Funny numbers, 3/23, 2003, right? And I'm funny with numbers. I notice how synchronistic it is. And it was an amazing and intriguing and interesting experience that I can actually and was able to see patterns and how they came to be and why I was experiencing what I experienced, and how so much of that started up in my mind, and it had so much to do with my belief systems and my fixations on being a victim. I have no children, no. I had a dog that she passed 2.5 years ago. She spent a good almost 17 years of her life she was with me. She's over 17 years old. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm so grateful to meet Buddy, because he so reminds me of her. And I was having a moment earlier where I was actually able to pet him, and I was looking at him, and it was like, do you ever recognize animals bring such joy to you, and they are calming and soothing? And for me, I had that moment where he was just reminding me that Angel's with me still, and that that's the love, unconditional love that animals give you. Yeah, they're sniffing your breath, they want to eat, all that stuff. But again, it really boils down to they really don't want anything. I mean, they're just so grateful to that affection, that exchange. They'll give you all licks and kisses and huggies and cuddles, right? And nudge you because they know it's not just attention for them, but it's also for you to get out of your head and out of your space, because sometimes we get like this. We get so single-minded focused, which is meditation in itself, but we get so focused, we lose sight, right? So that's where we go back to recognizing that everything that's happening in our lives is a blessing. It's just whether it's a blessing with a bow or not. It's with or without. But even then, when you get to a certain point in your awareness, the blessing is just what it is. It's not good or bad. And it's not invaluable or valuable. It just serves and it flows, right? Allow yourself to be in the flow of your soul. Let your soul guide you. It's scary at first. It's completely foreign to most of us. We are all so caught up in our storylines that we can't even imagine, oh, flow with my soul? Hey, there he is. Flow with my soul. Wait a minute here. If I flow with my soul, things won't get done. I'll just become this crazy person that everybody looks at like a gypsy or a butterfly or whatever. It doesn't matter what other people think. It's whether or not you're radiating and living from within, so that no reason to go without, right? You're going to inspire people just being in your personal truth, right? We all serve, and most of us are serving just by living an authentic life, being raw and rad, right? I go through my days and I recognize, okay, this triggered me, and that just meant it was meant for me to recognize it and to become aware of it. And the minute you become aware of it, it's that opportunity to grow from it, to evolve, to move forward in life, to continue to flow. Because when we get stuck and attached to something, now we're really harboring and holding on and lodging it into our physical body. And we need to release that, let that shit go, homie. Let it go, let it go. We all know the song, right? And who wants to be stuck in the past? Because it's like having shackles. And we have so much to live for and so much to be grateful for in this life right here, right now. So it's so key to be present. Be the gift to another. Be present first for yourself, and when you are first for yourself, then you're automatically going to be available for others, right? And so for myself, after the military, I got out and I went straight back into government service. I was working as a contractor. I worked with various, and even during my service, various 3-letter agencies, as we call them. I was in the intel arena, and so it was a completely different environment. And getting out, I just tried to stay in that because it was a niche, and I had the clearances and I had all that experience and very, specific, system oriented and all that. So I went into government contracting when I first got out. I was working back up in DC, and then I went to Italy again, and I went back to Naples, Italy, which really holds a special place in my heart because it's where I learned a lot about myself, whether I live to work or work to live, because that's an Italian thing that just it really hit home for me. Asking myself, do I work to live or do I live to work? Isn't that like something we all need to take stock of, like reflect upon and remember, wait a minute, work is not what it's all about. And people get caught up in this is real life. No, actually, it's very much commercialized capitalism created to keep you constantly in fear, constantly busy, and losing sight of what really matters the most. Well, without that, I can't live. Well, yeah, the more you fixate on it, the more that's going to happen. Where attention goes, energy flows. Again, if you can come back to center and balance with yourself, it's not just the food, it's not just the job, it's not just the money. It's everything that you encompass. It's your mind, it's your body, it's your soul. And when you start here, it's all going to work out here. And so I just wanted to bring that to awareness. If anybody out there has ever considered, if you find yourself constantly in this battle of I'm in service or I'm being served, and do you really recognize that it's always happening? And if you can just take the time to be in the moment, because that's really what it is all about, and be grateful for every moment, even the ones without the bows, even those moments where somebody sets you off. They're doing you a service and you don't even realize it at the time. They're serving you very well, because if they're getting under your skin, that means there's something for you to grow with. There's something within you need to look at. And those are the blessings. And you should bless your so-called enemies, because they're the ones that actually propel you the most. They're the ones that probably motivate you and push you the most. If you get angry, that shows you care. Whenever someone says to you, well, there's no reason to get angry, and you go, oh, I'm not angry. Take a deep breath, because just the reaction, see, anger creates a reaction. And within yourself, when you find yourself angry, whenever that emotion sparks, that right there is telling you, you care. And you know what? The best part about that is when you show you care, that's the opportunity to work on it and to find and to look for it and be a part of the solution versus a part of the problem. You know, the whiny person who just complains all the time. Talk about it. But when are you going to work toward actually working to improve upon it? And it's, again, we're going to go back to the inside job. If it's something that you're feeling is coming from outside, you need to go within. Go within and really challenge it. Challenge those thoughts. Challenge the mind. What is this telling me about myself? What do I need to know right here, right now? And like I'm being, reminded in my Beyond Addiction, I am here now in this. I am present. I embrace every part of this moment right here, because that's all that exists right here, right now. And my mind can try to go off in a tailspin and think I'm going to do. And I have a very overactive mind. If y'all were watching Tom this morning and he was talking about test taking, I was reflecting upon how I always hated tests. Because for me, being the perfectionist, always trying to do things perfectly, from the youngest age that I can remember, don't remember ever being any different. Trying to put my best foot forward, some of those old sayings, trying to do my best, put 100% in, or 150 or 110, whatever it is, that they will say out there, right? And ultimately, test taking for me, it was more of a mental challenge. Not that I didn't know material, it was that I'd read this question, and my mind is one of those very overly analytical minds. So I would look at a question, okay, to ask that question, but there's more to the question. What if this and what if that? It could be this if it's that. You know what I mean? Like, that's how deep I would get into it. And it would cause me anxiety and stress. And I store a lot of it in my belly, because that's what I've suffered with the most, is irritable bowel. You hold on to stuff, emotions. It all lodges in the stomach. And so for me, test taking was not my favorite thing. Oh, especially I always liked to write, though. I will say, I would always like to write. And if it was an essay question, I could write, and I could logically deal with it that way. But when it was a yes, no, true, false is probably a little easier, but even still, I could tell you, I'd be like, well, it'd be true if it's this, and it's false if it's that. But, all those random questions, never really cared. But, one of the things that's beautiful about test taking that you have to remind yourself when you become an adult, it was all an indoctrination system, and it was based off of certain standards that not everybody was meant to attain or even be a part of, because we all have different gifts, and if we're not encouraged to harvest and cultivate those gifts that we have to find other methods, other modes, right? I like personally to learn in person. I can do video, I can do in classroom. I used to always be the kid up to the front of the room because I wanted to learn. I didn't always have the best teachers, but they served me in some capacity, right? Challenged me, even some of them that I would get a little bit ornery with, right? I always wanted to learn. I was like a sponge. My mother taught us to read when we were really young, so I was always in a book. But then I got to a certain point, and with the turmoils of what happened as a child, it was like I just was looking for connection after a certain point. So my studies became less, and the people I wanted to be a part of, groups and cliques, and I never fit into a clique. Anybody out there who knew me from high school will tell you, I didn't fit in with any particular clique, and I hung out with everybody. And I remember, and I personally, for myself, felt really good about that, because there was so many beautiful people in all these different groups of friends that I had that, and there were some funky names for cliques. Does anybody remember? Like, okay, the obvious ones were the jocks and the praps. And I kind of fit in with those, but I didn't fit in fully with anybody. Because that's just who I was. I've just never identified with labels. And that's why this group is so very special to Tom and myself. Because we don't believe in labels. It's drop the dogma. It's drop the trying to put people in boxes. Be authentically who you are and quit trying to judge everyone. You got something negative to say, you might want to look in the mirror and ask yourself, if I'm pointing a finger, I got 3 pointing back. What does that say about me? If I'm judging someone else, it says a lot more about me than it says about anybody else. And it shows my insecurity. And obviously, we've all had insecurities, but we don't need to project them upon another person. If anything, we need to communicate. We need to learn to communicate better and serve one another through clarity, right? You know, we don't understand or know every single person. We don't even know ourselves. So to reach out or to point a finger at someone else needs to remind ourselves we need to get to know who we are. And we want to be known. So why is it that we want to assume we think we know anything about anybody or anything else out there? We really don't. We're all diamonds in the rough. And guess what? You need a little bit of a rub to get that shine on, right? A little bit of that glow. So, let's see, where am I going to begin? He left me some bananas in the sink, I see. Some peels. So I hope you're all feeling amazing on this sexy Saturday. Splish splash, I was taking a bath. Okay, so, well, he didn't do as many as I thought he could. How long was he here? I don't know. I don't remember how long ago I left. That's funky. He's slick. He's good. But was it Tom or Tiggy? Because you just never know what flavor is going to show up. Oh, thank you, Cindy. Thank you. Was it off the count too for... Yeah, I know, right? I gotta look around and see what... Did he leave me any surprises anywhere else I should know about? See, he left some bananas in there. And I'm kind of hungry. In the fridge, okay. Thank you, Cindy. Cindy's like... Do you remember the kid in school that was like... calling everyone out? Cindy, I love you. I wasn't a tattler in school when I was younger. In fact, I think I learned at home not to tattle. Unless it was my sisters at home. That was totally different. But we were very playful kids when we were growing up, so. It's nanner heaven over here. You're ratting about it. I love that. That's so funny. Anything else I should know? Anything else out of the fridge get taken? Just the kombucha? Okay. So, let's see here. I really, truly appreciate that. That actually made life a little easier that he came in here and did that. See, it's these little things that, I'm going to tell y'all, if someone just showed up in my house in the past, and there's a lot of people out there that have been, you know, that know me. Most people, they don't assume they show up at my house, so there's only a few select people that I can honestly be straight up and say that I wouldn't mind if they showed up at my house. But I really do prefer someone, like, calling and letting me know they're coming over. So, yeah, you gotta let down your guard sometimes. And I'm learning that. And this is, for me, very humbling. For anybody who knows me. Somebody in my space coming into my house when I'm not around. This is something very humbling for me. It's not every day I turn around and I walk in with that. I wouldn't have walked in cursing. But to see the bananas done, you know, like, again, it's that outweighing where's the happiness? Oh, look, the bananas got done, right? I love you, Diana. Mwah. I don't even know who I am sometimes. I mean, I go through these different morphs, these transformations, emerging out of my chrysalis like the butterfly, right? And you've heard me say this before if you've been watching for a while. We're all transforming, and sometimes we do go through it several times in our lives. And the butterfly, the monarch butterfly, when I was in 4th grade, I remember I had drawn each of the different stages of the actual metamorphosis. And because I'm actually, by my old passion when I was younger, an artist, and my dad said I should have become a professional artist. I have many tools in my toolbox. But I fell in love with the monarch butterfly from a young age, because we moved from Boston, Massachusetts up to the countryside in Holton, Maine. And so I had this huge field of flowers, which I absolutely adored. We had wild fruits and vegetables, and we had butterflies all over the place. And those grasshoppers with the wings, that to me was very cool, very rad to watch those, because I'd always look to see what did the wings look like when they finally jumped and when they flew, and they were jumping and flying at the same time, right? So the butterfly goes through this metamorphosis. It has to emerge from the chrysalis, and each and every one of us is going through that at some point in our life. When we feel the pressure, we're still in our cocoon, right? But the only way that we and the butterfly will survive is for that pressure to build and us to exercise the strength from within. If something external tries to help, it actually causes a weakness. And it's very likely either the butterfly will die or it won't live very long. So just like each and every one of us, we are constantly trying to come out from the cocoon, from the pressure, right? And learning to emerge with our own ease and grace under the pressure and the uncertainty of what is outside of it, right? So I like to remind my friends, I like to say, never give up before the miracle. And why? Because the miracle is always on the other side of when the pressure feels like it's the worst, like it's the strongest. I can't do this anymore. When you're saying that, that's when you need to learn. That's the moment to surrender. That is when you've got miracles on the other side that are just waiting for you. And there they are when you embrace that you can't control it and you don't know what's going to happen. Don't get caught up in it. Just allow it. Because like the butterfly, you got to spread those wings, right? You got to dance with the divine life that we came here and we're meant to, right? So, I'm going to look in the fridge because I'm just curious. I'm guessing. I have a guess about what might have disappeared, but I'm not certain. Oh no! No, I don't know which one he took. He just grabbed a bottle. Aw, that's okay, because I made pineapple kombucha. So I made a bunch of pineapple kombucha, and I can't eat pineapple because I'm allergic. So I have about 5 or 6 bottles of it, I think. I think 5. And I need to put these in the fridge anyway. I really love, in fact, pineapple kombucha is so bomb diggity. And it really stinks when you're allergic, let me tell you. I'm going to actually open and sip it. See how fizzy it is. I like it with goji berry too. Ooh. Yum. Ooh. Made my eyes water. It's got that. It's sweet, but with the fizz. Pop, pop, fizz, fizz, oh, what a relief it is. Anybody remember those commercials? I know it's an Alka-Seltzer seltzer, but I always think about these pop-top bottles, and I love fizz. So that's why if you ever make kombucha, you leave these on the counter, and I try to check and see how fizzy they are, because you don't want them to sit there too long. I have a girlfriend, she lets them sit for 7 days, and I'm like, you're braver than I, because sometimes my kombucha is pretty darn explosive, and when it's really explosive, I know it's like, uh-oh, we could hit the ceiling. And I have had to clean up messes before. Alrighty, so I'll put that. So I'm actually craving something right now, so I gotta have some of this. I'm actually gonna make more. What do you call it? I gotta make more of my coconut yogurt because I'm almost out of the vanilla. I'm just craving some chocolate right now. Earlier, I cut up a cantaloupe. So this is the strangest thing. Check this out. I got a critter coming in the house, and I don't know if someone's playing a joke on me or not, but it's eating the produce on my stovetop. And I'm not making this up, okay? So I really don't know what this is. At first I thought, well, maybe it's one of those lizards and it got in the door. I really don't know. And mind you, I'm not used to really having a whole lot of bugs and stuff, except for the ants. The ants are one thing that I do know. And so this is kind of freaking me out a little bit. But not to the point where I'm scared. I'm not scared. What I am is very curious. Check this out. I'm going to share this with you. I got 2 things it's already bit into overnight. I kid you not. I came out here last night and I'm like, what happened to the apple? Maybe it's Buddy. No, Buddy's not allowed in the kitchen when he's here. And he's actually really good, except for like a couple times I let him in the kitchen because I dropped some on the floor, like the apples. But he's good. He's really, really well behaved. He's an awesome dog. I'm telling you, he reminds me so much of my baby, and it makes me feel good. So, anyway, checking this out because oh my gosh, make that 2 apples. That happened too. Like this thing is sneaking in behind the fruit, and I don't know where it is. It actually ate part of one of the avocados last night, and it wasn't even a ripe avocado, which is what I thought was so unusual. It got into my persimmon. Okay, now this is really weird. It got into my persimmon, and these aren't even yet ripened, so I'm gonna have to stick those in the freezer. I heard. I'm not kidding. This is a critter issue, and I'm wondering if we got a little mouse going on in here. Look at this. It ate that much of the apple. Can you see those scrape marks? And then this is recent because I just found this. I put my hand behind and I reached into this. I mean, seriously, you can see the scraping going on. Some little critter is living high on the hog in here. I know, right? I might have to do that. I might have to put a camera on it. Catch it in action. And if y'all see it behind me, let me know. But I don't think... this is really, really... this is spooky. This is spooky. And you think that was interesting? On top of my persimmon, which I'm clearly going to have to take all of the produce off this counter now. I don't know. I really don't know what it is. But this is like, seriously. You know? I'm wondering if it could be a mouse. But where from? I don't know where it's coming from. It might have snuck in the house. But oh, wait a minute here. So I had to put a sweet potato in the fridge, and I put all the it got to this too. I mean, seriously? And I'm starting to think it was in the oven too. Okay, now this is really wacky. Okay, so when I put that in there earlier, I swore it wasn't down that low. This is really kind of wacky. I mean, seriously? Now, I can cut that off. That doesn't bother me. I'm not that freaked out about that. I'm just more like going, you see the bite marks. I'm thinking it's a mouse. Oh, mint oil is a good idea too, and I do have mint. Yeah. They'll get in the oven too? Oh my God, I'm gonna have to turn the oven on. I have to just cook all this stuff up. Yeah, I spy, I know, and I'm not sure if someone's playing a joke on me or if this is a real situation. And I'm really concerned because if it's a real situation, nobody wants a bunch of mice in your house. My understanding is they can actually eat up your electrical wires and all sorts of stuff. I am not having any of that. So we're not sure what's going on here. So now you're aware I'm going through some really weird something going on. Critter issues. Okay. Well, let's double check all the apples. Okay, now we know that one's going to have to be cut up anyway. Oh, it got a part of that one too. This is just really, really weird. But why don't I catch it? And I have a mint plant over here too, by the way, just to let you know. I don't actually feel bad. I'm like wanting to find the mouse and try to, it's a motherly thing or something. I just want to like embrace this poor little guy and like, I'm going to put you outside where you belong. There's plenty to eat outside. I got a whole compost pile. Yes, welcome to my crazy life. You just never know. You really don't. So, what are y'all doing today? Anything exciting? The mouse is, well, exactly, Kathleen. The mouse is definitely getting the best produce ever. Anybody who comes into my house is eating well. Crumbs? Yeah, I don't know. It's just funny. It's definitely, it's like I feel like I gotta stare at this corner because it's clearly in this space, this area. Wherever it is, whatever it is. Oh, mint in the vents is a great idea. In fact, I've got a sprayer that has mint and water. Yeah, I spy with my little eye. I still don't know if Tom's playing a trick on me or not. I don't have crumbs. I wish I could read all of what you wrote about why Tom came over. Yeah, you know what? Okay, so you got to remember here in Florida, there's rats too. There's citrus rats and things like that. I mean, I'm just gonna say mouse, but you don't know, right? Carl has Lady Luck on his side. I want him to get on and give us some of his tips. I know, right? Is Tommy? I don't know. He could be. If he snuck in here and y'all are telling me he was in here earlier. It's hard to tell. And he seems to have a pretty good poker face, so I can't even tell. Chocolate chicory coconut yogurt. Yummy. I'm a little upset about that. I mean, really, that's my persimmon. And it's really weird too, because I don't know if for those of you who've had persimmons before, I've heard stories where you can put them, those teeth marks are hard to make up. Well, I don't know. A creative individual could easily make up a whole lot of things. So I'm not gonna take anything for granted because you don't know. Now, I've heard that if you take persimmons and put them in the freezer, they'll ripen. And it could be because of this is a seasonal fruit around this time. A ninja knife made them, huh? Kind of like one of these? Is that what you're trying to tell me? I Spy? Is that the trick? Are you saying that it's very possible? Get Columbo on the case, right? So, I'm thinking we might get a little rain outside. Yeah, okay, so Diana, I know for certain the fuyus, these are the hachayas. These hachayas should be translucent on the skin. It should be so soft that you can almost like puncture through it and it becomes oozing out of it. Otherwise, it's going to be asperic and you'll never want to eat it again. Like, and it's hard like this. This is like an apple hard. And now there's the other variety, which is the fuyu. And there are two types because I've had them. There's actually more than two types. I've had the fuyus, which are shorter and rounder. These are more like Like, see, it looks like it dropped. The other one is a little bit flatter on the bottom, and it's a lot rounder. And those you can eat when they're ripe. You can actually eat them. They're crunchy like, you can eat them crunchy like an apple. Yeah, I'm jealous that you're in the water at the beach. I need some salt water on my skin. I'm curious to see how Buddy does. So the other ones, there's another type that even though they're short and round, you can eat them a little softer or you can eat them when they're crunchy. So, but again, you got to just know when they're ripe. Ooh, bananas and chocolate. I have bananas in the fridge right now that I had tucked in there because when they, you know what? Now that I think about it, there's flip-flops in here. Are you sure Tom really went to the beach and he left? He's not hiding in the back or something? And he's not like gonna put some more ninja knife marks in there? I mean, seriously, not gonna sneak up and scare the crap out of me? Okay, that's one of the things I don't like though. I'm not big on scary movies or anything like that. You just picked guava. Oh yeah, I remember you showing your guava tree in your backyard. I know I'm not big on scary movies, so like, please, if anybody out there ever thinks to joke and like scare the crap out of me, please don't. It's not my favorite thing to do. I'd rather you make me laugh. He did go out the back door. Okay, I trust you on that. My bracelet shines bright in the water. This one? Is it reflecting off the water through your phone? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. And what's interesting is because this is the time of year when people would be watching, like, when I was growing up, it was the Friday the 13th and the Jason movies, the Halloween movies. Or what's the other one? Freddy Krueger, right? It was Friday the 13th, wasn't it? Oh my gosh. I had friends that were obsessed with scary movies. And, that was during a time when I was trying to connect with people and have friends because I was looking for that outside of the house. And I would watch them, but I've never really truly cared for them. Yeah. Oh, this particular intention bracelet. Everybody, 3 times you affirm. This is a James Van Praagh affirmation bracelet. Healthy am I, happy am I, holy am I. Happy am I, healthy am I, holy am I. Happy am I, healthy am I, holy am I. And so it is. It's actually healthy am I, happy am I, holy am I. And so it is. 3 times. Sometimes we need to remind ourselves. Again, just like I am here now in this. Sometimes we need that reminder. And that's part of the purpose of these bracelets, is sometimes to also bring you back into balance and harmony. Nobody really needs that, but there's significance, there's energy. I love stones. I love to work with energy. How many bracelets do I have? How'd you pin my comment? That's really funky. Or your comment. That's really interesting. I think I have 13 or 15, somewhere around there. And I've gifted a couple too, actually a few. So Diana knows. I'm sure, and I need to check and see if Shireen's probably coming back down. She comes down from New York, up where I used to live when I was in my junior in high school. And she's in the Hopewell Junction area where I used to live, or Fishkill. Small world. Just like when you're in the military, I have met people that were from areas that I didn't know them when they lived there, but I lived there, and I've known people in the military who I went to school with. When I was in basic training, I'll never forget my friend Jason Main, who I don't know if he'll see this. I was at the club, like the enlisted club, with another of my my flight, and here was my friend who I graduated with from high school. My friend Jason sees me in the club, and he was security officer, so he was what most of you would see as military police. And he saw me, and here I am, wet behind the ears, still in basic training. Ah, there's a bug. I'm trying to kill a fly. Hey, I'm not big on all these little, fruit flies. Anyway, sorry. Squirrel. Fly in this case. So he sees me, and he's all excited, and he's like, Lana, hey, give me a hug. And I'm like, no PDA, no PDA. I literally, that was my response, because we're no public display of affection. And we carried these things called 341s or something like that. These little pieces of paper that if you had too many of them taken away from you, you could get in trouble. It was really silly stuff, but it was a way to kind of condition you into listening to authority. So here we're told no public display of affection. And there's this individual in a uniform. I'm in my uniform. And I'm freaking out going, no, you're going to get me in trouble. And so he gave me a hug. And he's like, don't worry about it. It was just one of those silly little moments I can look back and go, it's the fear they can easily put into you. And you listen. I mean, I didn't know any better. I was just trying to get by. And I was really good during my military career, I was really good at pissing off the right people, the wrong people. And the timing couldn't have been better, let me tell you. But I'm still here. I'm still alive. You ain't deboshing me. I made it through all those crazy scenarios that I went through. Tom talked about it earlier about how amazing it is that we finally are getting a lot more dialogue about sexual harassment and abuse and all that stuff and the things that have been going on. And I can tell you, when I was first in the Air Force, that whole quality control thing was coming out, and I think the tailhook incident had happened not long before I enlisted. And when that happened, that brought attention. So I can tell you from the inside world, what I found disheartening was that there was a lot more surface adjustment and renaming of things, and we're making changes, but it was all surface changes. Like, they talked about how, if you feel like something's happening, speak up, but it was still a walking a fine line and feeling like you were going to also get backlash for reporting something that had happened to you. So even during my time, and I did experience various encounters and situations that were very uncomfortable during my career. I don't even like the reverse discrimination, because that's almost the most... what's the word? The words just don't match. Discrimination is discrimination. But I dealt with people who had a mindset that I was a beautiful woman who was getting by on my looks. And honestly, it took me years to even accept someone telling me they thought I was beautiful. I'm like, I am? I didn't even know how to take a compliment. Oh, you're beautiful, so that's why you da-da-da. And I'm like, you don't know me. I worked my ass off, and I did, and I still do. Actually, I'm a lot lighter on myself, and I kind of know my boundaries a lot better. But I'm still hard on myself in my mind. So even if it doesn't look like it, this thing's constantly going, which is why mantra and meditation is so important for me. Brackets or bracelets? Did you mean bracelets or brackets? Because how many brackets do I have? I don't have any brackets. I just caught that. So anyway, but during my career, I had some very uncomfortable situations with keep me from being in my authenticity. They saw me as a threat, or they felt like they had to control me to make themselves feel better. And that was very uncomfortable during my career, is dealing with people with authority over me who were also trying to hold me back and all that. It was just some really interesting experiences that I had. I remember when I was in Korea, and that was probably one of my more stressful times, because you're there for a year and you had to do exercises, which meant you had to put chem gear on, you had to carry these heavy bags, and then all of this the gear was just ridiculous, and you didn't have a car because you walked everywhere, and I had to go to the top floor for one job, or if I was on the basement level, and carrying all this stuff. I mean, just thinking about it makes my back hurt, actually. And it's no wonder some of the reasons that people come out of the service with all these issues, because they push you in unnecessary ways. It's really not, it's not character building. It's bullying you into, or fearing you into being more of a follower. So, and yeah, it was an interesting experience. And so I'm grateful for all of it. And, I can share more. There's so many stories I could go on about. Craziness. Oh my gosh. One time, and see, I tell you what, if you're somebody who struggles with alcohol addiction, I'm telling you, get help, or whatever you got to do. Let it go and get rid of it, because alcohol was a big problem in my life. And during my career, I'm telling you, there was a whole lot of alcohol involved. And that in itself put me in compromising situations where I can look back and go, gosh, I wish I'd never done that, or I wish I had known better, or I wish I'd behaved better, or had more control. Or when you look at those situations in your life where you're like you've been compromised, it's unhealthy, right? And so you have to, again, cultivate that inner self-love and find a way to heal and integrate all those parts of you back into the whole of who you are. And that means accepting your shadow and your bright side, because you know what? They both make up the whole of who you are. And that's why I try to remind people, there's no good and bad. There's no right or wrong. It just is. And if you accept it as such and stop trying to put a label on it and trying to put it in the boxes, because that's what we've been conditioned to think. We have to account for every little detail. And that was just like I was talking about test taking. It's the mind gets caught up in this, I need to have this here and I need to have that there and da da da. And reality is our mind has got us so busy, we're not here presently in this moment in time and appreciating what we have. And the simplicity of all the joy that we have available to us. It's just, where is your focus? So, I think I was going to grab a banana. Because I have a full banana. Small one though. I have a compost in the back and I love that. So for myself, it's kind of cool. I have a lot of family members that were in the military. My uncle was the top wrestler in New England. He was in the Marines. The Marines wanted him to wrestle professionally, and my grandfather had some connections, and so he was able to get him out of his stuff, because he had a lot of head injuries. He was also, he had a lot of traumas in his childhood. My cousins were both, one was in the Air Force, my cousin Steven, who inspired me to want to go in the Air Force as well. And then my cousin John Scott was in the Army. And both of my grandparents, my dad's dad was in the Army, and then my mother's father was in the Navy, and my stepdad was also in the Army. And yeah, it's kind of cool when I look back through, those little histories, right? Beautiful people. That's a nice combination. Is there anybody else out there that's a veteran as well? And I know people look at me, ooh, and I'll bring it back to that, Anne, because you know what? When I was in the service, and I was always afraid to speak up, because when I did speak up, because of my personality and the way it was so easy for me to be very exuberant, and I was very straightforward. People don't always like that. They like people who beat around the bush or are submissive, right? I didn't always speak up. And so it made it even more uncomfortable for myself. There was one incident where they actually, like the service wanted it, the people that my supervisor actually wanted to press charges or make a bigger deal about it. And I can't even remember what the situation was. I think it was the cursing in the office, because it was excessive. There's no need to curse. And even when I worked with Navy, when I was a contractor, it's like, I'm like sitting here going, okay, there's no need to F-bomb left and right. You can speak articulately. But see, I also understand now at this point in my life, there are a lot of people who come from unhealthy backgrounds. And when they enter these environments, the people who are in charge have the opportunity to guide them and to help them grow from unhealthy family childhoods and everything else, because a lot of us going into the military came from discomfort from family backgrounds that were broken or, again, unhealthy. And so when we enter the service, these are mentors. These are people who can make it or break it for us. And if they're actually they're instead of helping, a lot of the times they all want to be friends, and so they show up thinking, well, I don't want to hurt my buddy's feelings, when in reality that's when they need to turn around and put on the big boy, big girl panties and be the mentor that they're meant to be, to serve, and the capacity that also helps that other person grow. And so, I witnessed a lot of people who were given, they were not served properly. And it made me very sad, because then they didn't grow, or they got in trouble later, and it was a result of the fact that their management, their higher ups, weren't looking out for them, but they were just trying to go along with the flow and get along to get along is an old phrase too, right? So in some of my situations that I encountered, when I did speak up, boy, it was so uncomfortable. It was already uncomfortable just for the situation that occurred, but to say something. I have not ever contacted the police. I can't think of a time I've ever had. With my sister's husband, I did once, but he wasn't in the military, and that was more because I don't even remember that at all, because I kind of have blurs in my mind still. I've never called the police on anybody, and I don't know if it's because in my old way of thinking, I really believe that I would never want to put that on someone's record, or I don't know, maybe there's a little old fear that back then I had, but now I've never even considered having to ever call the police on anybody. Maybe because I don't feel like my life is in danger, or that I've ever been in that scenario. But please don't listen to me on this one. Listen to you. If you feel that you're being threatened, I would put a call to the police, especially if you have to protect yourself first. But if you feel you're being threatened, please do what's best for you, whatever it is you feel that is. I really don't know what I would do unless I was in the situation, and I probably would call the police. But I hope you are safe. Every situation is so unique that we never can know what we would do unless we ourselves were in the situation. I'm very blessed. I did not have to go to Iraq or Afghanistan. And when I got out of the service, I had plenty of job opportunities. I had plenty of job offers, because I was very specialized in Intel and IT environments and the computer systems I worked with, which I'm extremely grateful for, because I worked with some pretty intriguing networks. But truly, I was so grateful that I got out when I did, and I needed less than 10 years to do a career. But I could see that if I did, it was more stress, and I was choosing happiness over security. At that point in my life, I couldn't even take a chance on what I had already encountered. Although, funny enough, what happens is my last assignment was my best assignment all together, and I was grateful for the assignment because people really valued me. I not only felt valued, but I felt like I contributed and was valuable. And which is why I ended up in beautiful careers, jobs afterward, give or take the last one. And I still was really good at pissing people off, even in my IT contracting realm, because I was really good. But at that point, I kind of knew, and I had people who still wanted to cause me issues because I was threatening to them. Even to the last jobs that I had, the people in the personalities that I encountered. Now I'm going to tell you, when you're in that environment, you got a whole lot of people who are fearful of being found out. And they're not necessarily professionals in leadership roles. They may hold the title, they may hold the position. The unfortunate thing is they're not necessarily qualified, and it's scary. This has been my personal experience. Everybody's going to have their own. But when you have that personal experience, it really kind of makes you go, oof. But again, I'm grateful for all of that because it taught me where I'm at and what was important to me and what I wanted to really. I wanted a different life, and so I chose to get out of the service. I finally had to say goodbye to even the contracting realm because it was no longer a healthy environment for me. It wasn't really from the start. When you feel like you got to watch your back because people really do want to get at you, that's not healthy. And you need to choose your heart over your head. Do you choose to be right or be happy? So I think I'm going to cut it off here because, I've got a few things going on tonight. I have a good friend of mine and several others actually celebrating their birthday that I'm going to go hang out with some buddies and unwind, probably do some dancing, which I'm really psyched about. One of my girlfriends was a professional ballroom dancer, and so she's got some moves, and it's always fun to get together with these people. Beautiful souls. And I hope that you're doing the same today as well, uniting with those people that uplift you. If you haven't introduced yourself to the group yet, please get over to Radiculously Authentic. Go live, introduce yourself, share some pictures, share your stories, share your passions, share what makes you you. And remember, always, you be you. There's no need to try to be anybody else. We're not here to promote anything. We're here to promote you as an individual. You show up as you. If you're interested in winning that rad juicer, whoop whoop, add 200 or more of your closest, bestest of friends, because if they're your friend on Facebook, well, they must be something to you. Add 200. Don't worry about upsetting the apple cart, because guess what? Never hurt. You just never know who out there could use a little inspiration, right? So, I love you all. Have an amazing, sexy Saturday. Keep it raw. Stay rad. What?